Hey, y'all see it? How y'all see it? How do y'all like the new intro? I tell you what, I'm so distracted right now because my chair, I'm already short. Like my husband and I have this informal game where not game, but this cute thing that we'll go different places, sit at the bar, whatever, and I'm like, babe, my feet can't touch. I can't touch the ground. So yes, I am that short. And so I'm in this big, cute, comfy chair. It's really cute and girly and velvety, but it just swallows me up. And yeah, so I just feel like my angle is crazy, but it's not. It's cute. How y'all doing, y'all? Second time's a charm. Did y'all get into that introduction? Did y'all see that new intro? I'm gonna play it again for those of you that missed it. I'm waiting on you guys to come on in, come on in, come on in. How you doing? How you doing? This is our second time live. If you're just catching in, if you're just coming in and you're wondering what's going on, we're gonna talk about it. But this is actually our second time going live today, and yeah, we're here to discuss that and some other things. So anyway, welcome. How are y'all doing? How are y'all doing? Let me run through, scroll through, see how you guys are doing. So trash can waves. First, my microphone. There we go. First in, he says, hitting the live all day. Thank you, little brother. Yes, you are, as I always say, number one supporter. Definitely beyond my husband. But anyway, yes, hitting the live all day. So if you're wondering what that's about, check out the video before this one. I went live earlier. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. We're definitely going to continue the conversation because the problem is not fully resolved, okay? So stick around and see what we're talking about. Shatika Woods, good afternoon. Blessings all. Blessings to you, sis. Hope you're doing well since we last saw each other 4 minutes ago or however long it was. I don't know why I'm fiddling with this thing because I don't need to. Anyway, Pam says, hey, hello, Pam. Wanda says, hello, Melissa and everyone. Marie Gary, good to see you. Hello, Melissa. Hey, my Vivid Live. Good to see you, beautiful. Trash Can Wave. She's showing you some love. Just me. So yeah, y'all, aside from my regular time, which this is my regular time to go live, I was live earlier. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to get into that. But welcome to everyone. And make sure if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. Share this video, all that wonderful stuff. But anyway, Renee Hendricks, she said, good evening, Melissa in Queens, sending love from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Very good. So she's saying, Melissa, I thought she said in Queens as in Queens, New York, but she's saying Melissa and the Queens. Yes, that's us. So, hey, Renee, good to see you. In good old Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I drove through Wisconsin, but I've never lived in Wisconsin. But we drove through, and it's quite it's pretty up north, but also pretty cold. Helga, hey Helga, how are you doing? Helga Roper is coming in. How are you? So y'all, I got all my hellos out. Did y'all get into that intro? Because I got to play it again because I mean, if I take this intro and then compare it to, which I should compare it to my first intro when I first clicked the record button. That's what I keep telling you guys. Those of you that have already have YouTube channels and you're starting out, those of you that are considering it, and, oh, I don't know how to do this and I don't know how to do that. Listen, time, talent, growth, learning. That is all. I really should pull up my first video and compare my first video to where I'm at now. But I won't do it on this channel. So anyway, that's a sneak peek for what's to come. But anyway, let me replay this intro because I'm super proud of it. I'm pretty proud of everything that I put out. If I put it out, that means I'm super proud of it, or I'm telling y'all I ain't too proud of it. But anyway, here. Let's sit back and watch it. I'm not going to play it again because you'll just have to catch the live again. But here you go. it. I love it. I love it. And if you spend more than a minute editing, you already know. If you spend more than a minute creating on YouTube, you already know the time that it takes to do these videos. So shout out to all my fellow YouTubers and all you supporters, because if it wasn't for you guys, it just wouldn't be worth doing it. So shout out to you guys. Trash Can Wave says already what? Already what? I'm just re-showing. Trash Can. I was just re-showing my introduction because a lot of people wasn't in there. My vivid life greeting to you, sweetie. Oh, sweetie. Okay. Hello again. Hello, Miss L. So y'all, let's jump right into it. I don't do a lot of small talk because I don't like small talk too much, if the truth be told. So anyway, y'all, what's going on with me? It's Monday. I am a night owl, and so I'm up all times of night. And so if you ever do business with me and you ever get an email in the most oddest time of the morning, just answer me later. Like, I'm sorry for waking you up, but whatever. But I say that to say I slept in a little bit. I got up at 8 and I noticed that my Facebook wasn't acting right. And I was like, okay, why aren't you acting right? But I didn't pay it any attention because I was still able to see something. You, me, us, we all ready. Oh, we ready. We are here. Thank you, Trash Can Waves. Hey Pamela, how you doing? And Renee. So anyway, y'all already know I go around the bush, through the mulberry bush, and back again to tell a story. So anyway, so basically, hours later, I realized I'm looking at my neighbor. He's got a big Great Dane type horse of a dog. And maybe about 3 minutes before I came live, I saw the dog run across. And I was like, okay, usually if you see a dog like that, there's someone jogging behind it or whatever. Well, nobody was behind the dog. And now I see someone in the car. Well, I don't see their car because I'm so high up, but someone's trying to get the dog, and that thing is a horse. He ain't getting that thing no time soon. Anyway, back to why I went live. So a couple of hours later, I kept noticing that I'm not getting any refresh on my Facebook. And then it just hit me. It's an outage. So I went live, friends. So if you have not caught the first video from today where I went live and we talked about what was going on, how it was going on, and all of that. Now we're going to see. Now look, if you are a content creator, then you know what I'm talking about. StreamYard just notified me that the check mark for this stream to go to Facebook is now active. Okay, so now welcome Facebook. Unless you've been living under a rock or you've worked third shift or fourth shift, I don't know shift work. I don't mean that in any kind of way, but I think it's the third shift, like you're just getting off or something like that. Anyway, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and two other ones that I'm not very familiar with, they were down today. Messenger and something else. They were down. And I went live because I knew that people were freaking out, and not necessarily in an apocalypse type of freak out, but people want their social media. And so we had a really great conversation. So make sure you watch that video. I will link it in the video description below. I did not, I could do that now, but I'm not, but it will be linked below. But I want to continue the conversation because a part of what I was talking about, and then we're going to get into some Wendy Williams stuff because I want to get you guys' opinion about some things. Okay. 2 words, Turban Nick. Okay. Those of you that follow me, we know we get on our brother Turban Nick. So I want you guys, let's talk about the Facebook thing first. So anyway, y'all, as we were talking, there were like a few things that I was like, oh, this is really good. You know, as I don't think it's not the end of the world. Like we're not going to end up in an apocalypse thing. Like Mark Zuckerberg is freaking out because he's losing a whole lot of money. I am pretty sure of it. But my question is, are you guys ready for a grid breakdown, communications breakdown, like we had this, but on an even wider scale? It was really wide today. But are you really prepared for doomsday? Whatever that means. So if you live in a rural area, are you prepared? If you live in a city, whatever, let's talk about it. Leave a comment down below. Are you ready for doomsday? If you're liking my channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell right now. Do it. Right now, do it. So, yes, 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 yes. Right now, do it. Thank you for my new subscribers. Thank you for the subscribers that have been rocking me from the beginning and new family, of course. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough. I need to change the title so I can get people a little bit more people in here. But anyway, yes, trash can waves, doomsday prepper. I talked about that earlier in the live. Like, I don't prep in the sense of I don't have a garage full of stuff, but just number one, from being a rather large family, we're just used to having multiples of stuff. And then if you know anything about being married to a supply chain manager, then yeah, that's what he did. And so we always had two or three of mostly everything. But in the true sense of being a doomsday prepper, am I that? No, we're not that. And to be honest with you, this outage was small on the grand scheme of things, as bad as it could be, because like I said on my live earlier, what if we got an outage on electricity and your kids, or cell phones, because they said T-Mobile was down a little bit today too. What do you have a plan for your family? Let me know. Leave a comment down below. While you're leaving a comment down below, I'm going to edit the title for this video. But yeah, um are you ready? Are you ready? Leave a comment. I'm waiting. Facebook down. I don't know. We'll stick to that. We'll stick to that title. So yeah, I mean that's the question at hand for me, because as I was sitting there, and I told you guys this before, you know, just on just on some other stuff, uh my family, we sit and talk about this all the time. It's almost like, um oh, it's not letting me. Anyway, I'm not worried about it. We talk about that all the time. Okay, electric go in a truth to dare type thing, or would you rather, or whatever. So, but when you think about what happened today and how so many people were really crippled by that, especially those of you that do business on WhatsApp, and you're like, okay, what the heck, I could not conduct my business accordingly. So yeah, outages. So hold on. My Vivid Life says outages are expected nowadays. I'm planning to live on a homestead with hopes to become independent, not so reliant on the current city county services. Yes, our outages are to be expected, but also of course, they are to be expected, especially I think with the demand that we place on our electrical system and the services and everything like that. And so it's only a matter of time that everything just kind of crashes, even if not for the fact that we haven't really upgraded a lot of stuff. Like I said on my live earlier, we technology is moving at a huge pace. And the truth of the matter is, the question at hand is, are we upgrading systems and grids, and do we have enough land to accommodate all this stuff, the demand? And so I'm not quite sure that we're able to do that. And so yes, outages are definitely to be expected, but from an extremist point of view, are you prepared for doomsday, whatever that looks like? An outage not for 8 hours, but like an actual attack on our grid. What are you going to do? What is your plan? Are you talking to your kids about it? Are you talking to your loved ones about it? Like, hey, if communications go down, go to this app. If that app is down, call me. If my phone's not working, let's meet up here. These are the conversations that I want to have, because this is the kind, like, honestly, you're like, what goes on in Melissa's brain? This is literally what we discuss as a family. I bring it up to my kids. I'm like, okay, what would you do? Especially the two that are in school together. I told this story, a little bit about the story. They drive to school. So I'm like, okay, are you going to wait on him? Are you going to wait on her? How do you know where to get the key from? How do you know where the car is? Whatever. And the girl pretty much said he's on his own. He's going to have to figure out his way to the car, and she hopes he can defend himself. Hey y'all. Hey, April. Big Guy Journey says, I hope it's not in the winter. No, I hope it's not in the winter. Let's start here. Do you think that it could happen? when you look, if you've ever watched Doomsday Preppers, and okay, so Doomsday Prepper is a show where people really anticipate a downfall of the American supply chain system in one way or another. So it's not always electrical. Some of them think that there's going to be a bombing. Some people think that it's going to be a poison in the water. Some people think it's going to be a natural disaster that's going to take us out, or just really not necessarily take us out, but really put a strain on our natural resources and everything. So I think that as I think back, especially over the last year and a half, when I think about Doomsday Preppers, it really, really was apparent during that time, a year and a half ago, with everything that was going on. I was like, of course, no one in Doomsday Prepper could predict a C-19, but at the same time, it's the same thing. We were crippled. And it did a number on this country in a lot of ways. And so there were some positives, I believe, because I think that and one of the things that I think is positive is that companies were able to see that the very thing that they were denying people, remote work, it can happen. More and more companies see the value and see the benefits of working from home. So when I say the year and a half was positive, as crazy as it is, there are a few things that came out from it, but there are some things that taught us how quickly our basic needs and our resources could be very limited, and not only limited, limited by the government, like you can or by cities, or by a company. You can only take 2, you can only take 1, you can only take 4, you can't have none. We don't have any more Lysol, we don't have all of that. So the question then becomes, yes, we look at it today and it's just Facebook, it's WhatsApp, it's Instagram, and those are just things like that. But if that was an outright snowball effect that could have happened, and then it could have been like a great disaster. But the question is, are you prepared? So Facebook is down. Let's just pretend. What about that family member, or that, this is giving me Lisa Bonet right now. But anyway, what about that family member that they depend on their business or just personal communication on WhatsApp? That crippled a lot of people today. Now again, Mark Zuckerberg, he's the one taking a hit. Why do I say that? Because he has lost billions today. Billions. So here we go. Let's talk about it. Bless Reborn, good to see you, sis. Good to see you. Thank you for joining in. Whether you plan to lift off-grid communication redundancies and stocking up on resources are necessary. Absolutely. But I think the conversation is, a lot of people don't think about it that way. A lot of people, number one, some people don't have resources to stock up. Unfortunately, even in America, some people don't have those resources. And I wanted to have this live so that people can begin to have the conversation, to at least think. If you're not going to stock up on water, maybe you need to stock up on other things. Like, here in Arizona, we don't necessarily have natural disasters, but the craziest things are happening in the diverse places. So I can't say, oh, a hurricane won't come here. Yeah, typically it won't, but crazy things have been happening lately. So yes, whether you plan to live on the grid, off the grid, even on a basic level, you should plan for emergency. Your family should have an emergency plan. So for us, we used to be foster parents. I've ran a licensed home daycare my kids' entire life. And so with that, we had to have drills, we had to have plans, and that carried over into our private life. Like, I didn't just have an emergency exit just for when my daycare was in operation. I also had it for when we were home. So that was something, once I got into early childhood and owning businesses, a lot of those practices that I needed to pass inspections, we took home and did it with our family. A lot of people don't think that way. A lot of people just think, oh, this, that will never happen to me. This will never happen to me. But I think it's just best to be prepared, just on the basic level. Big Guy says, hello everyone. Hey, Big Guy, how are you? Good to see you. Because this is real life, our family and I have the same conversations. Exactly, Renee. Like, and I don't want to assume that you guys as subscribers or that everybody in America thinks like I do, because I didn't always think that way. But but I do think about it. I do, think about, okay, hey, my daughter's phone doesn't work. What's her next step? What's your next step? Your phone's not working. You're at school. You have your brother. You and your brother. What are you guys gonna do next? And in our head, we know, okay, the phone's not working. She knows to do X, Y, Z. If she can't get to her car, she knows to do X, Y, Z. My mom knows to do this or whatever. I think that's very important. And I think, okay, let's take it here. Even if it has nothing to do with the natural disaster, with the amount of school shootings and stuff like that, like any emergency, I think we should plan for it. What up, my vivid life? Big Guy Journey says, hope you enjoyed your getaway. You better own a gun and bullets. People will come to take. Thank you, Big Guy. So that was the other part that I wanted to talk about, and I have spoken about on my live. So not to sound one way or another. Part of our conversation as a family, we're like, you know what? People that don't have resources, they're coming up here where we live. And we have to make sure that we're fortified, because at that point, your gated community, your this, your that, none of that matters. Our little our little security system, all of that in a natural disaster, truly what you're talking about, Big Guy, you're absolutely right. And I'm not disclosing anything or whatever, but at the same time, yep, you are absolutely right. You have to make sure that you have guns, bullets, and everything, because it's a matter of when it comes to that point, and even if, see, here's the thing, I'm from Miami. I don't know if anybody's ever lived through a riot. I don't know if anybody's ever lived through actual cities shutting down because of riots, protesting, like major stuff, fires and stuff like that. Like, I lived through several of them. And when stuff like that happens, there's no emergency services. They're not coming over there because they're busy putting out fires and everything. And when you think about a natural disaster, and like I said, we're just imagining doomsday prep, something like that, where the natural resources are limited and or eliminated. People are going to the haves. The have-nots are going to find the haves. And guess what? I think the haves are going to start eating each other up after a while. But the truth of the matter is, we talk about this as a family. How will we fortify what we have and maintain what we have? And what does that look like? And you are absolutely right. You better own a gun and bullets. People will come to take whatever you have. We even joked about it. Like, okay, we'll have pool water. We'll have pool water. We'll have a whole 11, 20,000 gallon pool over there. But, it's funny. But at the same time, when you're talking about a natural disaster, that water filtered and cleaned up and everything, listen, that's a gold mine. So you're absolutely right, Big Guy. My Vivid is saying they're talking to each other. Hello, what's the topic? Hey, Superstar Graham. Right now, we are talking about the fact that Facebook is down. So make sure we're doing like a part 2 of the whole Facebook and Instagram being down. If you want to catch the first one, make sure you hit the video right up under this one, because I went live earlier today and we talked about it. And now we're continuing the conversation talking about, okay, are you prepared for a doomsday? Are you prepared in any way? You working with outside people other than family? Good question. We thought about that. So in doomsday, that's that concept too. The question that Trash Can Waves pose is a legit question. During a natural disaster, during doomsday, and again, doomsday can be anything. Anything that's, what I'm saying is, an extreme crippling of resources. What are you going to do? Doesn't necessarily have to mean it could be an illness. It can be a water. They're already talking about food shortage. I don't know if you guys are paying attention to the news. They're already saying that, people were joking about the wings and everything, but no, they're saying it's an actual food shortage. And here's the thing. I said this in my video earlier today. Make sure you check out that video because we kind of covered the technical side of things. But in covering the technical side, I thought about some other stuff. And I want to encourage you guys as subscribers, as Americans, as people that are in foreign countries. Like I know people that live in other countries. How are you going to communicate with your American families or your families abroad or families that your kids after college? If you're not thinking about that, you need to begin to think about that. Not because, oh, spooky Facebook is down and we need to have like a spooky moment. No, it's just, I think it should be, it's a part of critical thinking, planning, because it's only a matter of time that, no, not necessarily another 9/11 will happen, even though people say that, but it's just a matter of time that a natural disaster or whatever could happen. So, like, what would you do? What would you do? So, to answer your questions, Trash Can Waves, I don't think we discuss working with other families outside of our other families that live here. So, besides our other family members, we didn't really talk about, okay, so I know my neighbor across the street, they have this, and this one has that, and that one has that. No, we haven't really discussed that. Very good question. Now, I don't know if I would want to live in a bunker. So let's just say my mind just imagined Trash Can Waves has a bunker. And he's like, Melissa, if you bring the food and the clothes and whatever, I have a bunker and you guys will be safe. But here's the thing. Let's rewind, Trash Can Waves. Are you hunkering down or are you bugging out? So, my friends, answer this question: natural disaster, whatever, however that looks like, y'all. And we're kind of talking in hyperboles and not exaggerations, but hyperboles, and which is a high exaggeration, but imaginations and what ifs. But this is people's reality. This is people's reality. I think about this often when you look at foreign countries and the bombings that happen and everything, and the kids are crying in the streets and all this other stuff. Of course, that is very extreme. You know, how can you plan for that? But at the same time, a mass shooting at your kid's school. Does your kid know what to do? Your little kid misses the bus to school. Do they know what to do? Communication for T-Mobile is completely shut down, and there's unfortunately some sort of mass casualty type situation on or around your kids' college campus. Do they know what to do? These are the things that are important. These are the things that are very, very important. So leave a comment down below if you've thought about this with your family. If you're liking my channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Right now, do it. Right now, do it. Yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're watching live or you're catching the replay, this is Melissa Berry, and I am your host. I go live every Monday and Tuesday and Thursday, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm talking about, this Facebook shutdown that happened today, Facebook and everyone. And I went live earlier today. This is part 2, where I want to kind of continue the conversation on, are you prepared? Are you prepared if this was something that was extreme? And I don't mean, devastating or any gloom and doom, but at the same time, I know that a lot of people that that was on my live, they were like, I couldn't call the people that I normally call on WhatsApp. I couldn't conduct business. So I'm asking, in the case of a doomsday, whatever that means, doomsday doesn't necessarily have to mean the extreme apocalypse and all this other stuff. Breaking news: no more food. All grocery stores have to shut down. No more food is allowed to be sold out. What are we going to do? Breaking news: all cell phone towers were attacked. What are you going to do? No more water. What are we going to do? This is what we're talking about, part 2. So the first question that I posed to everyone based on Trash Can Waves, this question: are you staying home or are you bugging out? Bugging out means your family has a place. Okay. Don't tell the place, But your family has a place and they do what's called bugging out. And you guys are going to go up to wherever. Y'all going to go to your mountain house. Everybody knows in a natural disaster, Aunt Judy, Uncle Bobo, cousin Sam, everybody knows head to the lake house. That's where our family is going to be. And if you can get to point A, everybody, there's a hidden pickup truck to take us point B. A lot of you think, okay, this is extreme. No one's really doing this. People are doing this. Some people are prepared, while the other half of America is sitting here relying on um, very limited resources, or limited resources that are dwindling very, very quickly. So that's the question. Are you bugging out? I don't think we would bug out, but we would definitely fortify and protect our assets. Yeah. So yeah, but that's a good question. Are you working with other people? I'd be willing to work with other people, but again, at that point, it's okay. What do you have to offer? What is it that you have to offer? I'm good, and glad you enjoyed yourself. They're talking. Big guy, I'm so glad you said that. I went into the gun store about 5 months ago. There was no bullets. Renee, facts. Facts. I talked about this on my live earlier. Again, the supply chain in America has taken a hit like no other over the past year and a half. Stuff that was so common to see on the shelves are not always so common. Stuff that, was unlimited or seemed limitless is very limited. And the more we begin to demand more of it, then the supply goes down, and they're not able to remake these things at a quicker rate. For an example, bullets, ammunition is not readily available as it used to be. Resources, building resources, construction resources, is through the roof right now. So to someone, you just join in a live and you're like, oh my gosh, they're talking in extremes. This is not an extreme concept. And I don't want to assume that just because my family talks about it, and we, again, we do it in a very lighthearted, what would you do type of thing, and then offer instruction like, okay, this is what you should do. Meet us here, meet us there, come home, whatever. But at the same time, I don't want to assume that everybody else is having these conversations, because everyone doesn't think that way. So I'm encouraging you to at least get an emergency plan. You know what? On the most foundational level, get an emergency evacuation plan for your family. And that's just not even just fire. Any disaster, so that way you have a plan, and you won't be frantic. Oh my goodness, what are we going to do? You will be prepared. Sally Wiggins, yes, Facebook is back up as of now. So yes, as I started my live, Sally, I got the notification that because I streamed this stream to not only YouTube, but I also stream it to Facebook. And I got the notification that Facebook is back up. What I'm understanding is that it's intermittent, like, when you don't plug in a light bulb all the way and it flickers a little bit, it's like it's flickering. And so Twitter, it was on Twitter that people were saying, you know what, the servers are kind of giving us some brain activity here. So hopefully it'll keep up and everybody will be back online. But back to our original question. If you depend on social media, let's go there. Do you depend on social media as your sole provider of income? I don't. Not at all. But if you do, a sudden extreme break in the internet, break in on apps, what's your plan B? These are really good questions that, may be trivial to some, but I know after today, a lot of you were not thinking about that. You better have some training to back up them guns and bullets. Absolutely. Absolutely. Got a lot of a whole army vet here. Me too, Renee. I found a shop that had them, but you could only buy one box. Exactly, Big Guy Journey. So he just proved my point. You can only buy one box, and that's all a break in the supply chain, supply and demand system that we've built here in America. Like, it's just really out of whack, and so it's causing a definite retardation in production. It's causing inflation in prices of some things, and some things just are absolutely on hold. You're just not getting them. You know, we were looking at cars, and initially we were looking at Teslas, and then we found out Teslas are back ordered 6 to 12 months. There goes that idea. So then we knew about the car shortage. My husband was like, "Babe, it's a car shortage. It's a car shortage." But we were like, "Okay, let's go look at the Mercedes Benzes." We go to the lot. I kid you not. There was one Mercedes Benz on that lot, and it was not even a new model on the entire lot. This is where we're at. Go down Car Alley. Every city has one. Go down your car alley. You're gonna see that the new cars, because I forgot what it's called, but my husband said it's this one part or whatever. That's um out of stock, so to speak. So again, thinking about this thing, yes, it seems extreme. Yes, we're playing what ifs or whatever, but I want to get your brain to thinking about the future and what could possibly happen, because we saw it during the past year and a half. People were unprepared. And whether we like it or not, whether we understand it or not, whether it's, however you believe, once that thing is programmed where it's like, oh, shut down or whatever, where are you going to get your food from? Where are you going to get your meals from? Think about it, guys. Think about it. That's all I'm saying. So yes, Facebook is back up, but I heard that it's like twitching a little bit. You better have some training. Okay. Big guy journey. The young men in the gun shop told us they have already been prepared. They said they have weapons in every room of their home, including the bathrooms. Renee, okay, so the topic of our live is not like foo-foo, crazy Melissa. No. No. We know some very, very, very close to us, and he gets to come over during apocalypse. He is well stocked, well trained, along with my husband. We ready. And not only are we ready, you have to make sure that you have a plan. And the things that we're talking about, like I said, this is another great example. Renee said it. The people who own the store said that they are ready. Hold on. Nope. Man, I lost a lot of comments. I think I'm gonna start from the bottom up, because it's easier to just go that way, because I lost that comment because it was so good. So yeah, the conversation, and I saw Black's Tropical. They understand as well. Like, yeah. I'm trying to tell you folks today, as we were talking about it, yes, it's Facebook today. Yes, it's apps today. But what my point is, T-Mobile cut up, Amazon cut up. Are you prepared? There is a food shortage. There is a supply shortage. There is things to build, product shortage. So I implore you, as family, as subscribers, as friends, as you're buying, I'm not saying don't have fun. I'm not saying don't travel. I'm not saying don't buy the shoes and the purse and all this other stuff. But when it's time for survival, none of that stuff matters unless you're going to bargain with somebody and barter. And at that point, if there's a water shortage, you trading your Gucci belt with somebody means absolutely nothing. They're going to want some rice. They're going to want some ammo. They're going to want something other than that Gucci belt. So you understand what I'm saying about that. So here we go. Big facts, big guy journey. A car you could get for $2,500 3 years ago is now $6,000. That is what my husband was saying. I wish I can scroll up. I probably should just take the time to scroll up, because I want to keep the comments There we go. Keep the comments in order. So I like the fact that we're talking and we're not, discrediting what Melissa is saying. Yeah. Here we go. I would not want to live in a bunker, but I guess if it was that or something catastrophic, I'd stay there. You know what, Axel? I always say that because if you watch Doomsday Prepper, they kind of show their bunkers, and I have a bit of claustrophobia. It's like I don't claustrophobia, like small spaces and stuff like that. But some of those bunkers are like mansions underground. But I think for me, just knowing that I'm underground will cause me great anxiety. But like you said, if we're talking about a catastrophe and a natural disaster or whatever, where we got to hunker down, I guess I can do that. My vivid life. That's why I'm also practicing self-defense with and without a weapon. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Absolutely. That's my son-in-law's number one saying. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And I love that. And it's so true. My vivid life says she is practicing self-defense with or without a weapon because we're having this conversation about being prepared. Those of us that are looking around and seeing this is feeling a bit weird without being like I said, without being spooky or extreme, but at the same time I think that it is critical that we prepare, whether because I can't sit back here in Arizona and go, oh, we'll never have a natural disaster. Well, a couple of months ago they were saying that it was a water shortage here. Again, like I said in my live earlier, they didn't tell us to do anything differently, but what if they did? What if they just said, no, don't do this, don't do that? We saw the shortage of supplies as it related to the past year and a half, where there were some things that was available and there was things that you could not even find. Luckily, we were able to find a lot of stuff. I figured out their system. Okay. I figured it out. Oh, you're going to get a delivery at this time every Thursday. Guess what? I got up and I got there and meet that delivery. Here in the check cashing places and banks, they have been told again they cannot give out coins. We're back to that, Renee. Somebody leave me a comment. I'm sure Mr. B knows this. What's the significance of that as far as not giving out coins? I'm sure my husband has told me the reason why, but I know that there's a significance there. Somebody comment down below and let me know what the significance of the whole banks and everything not wanting to give out change and coins and stuff like that. Let me know. It's really going to be bad for single women. Predators will love a time. This police will not come. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad because, even when you look at, I'm gonna leave the comment up. Even when you look at biblical times or you think about society, single women are historically seen as the lower on the totem pole, like, and people are to take care of them and leave stuff for them to kind of glean from and stuff like that. So when you think about that, big guy, you're absolutely right. Like, part of our planning probably should be to reach out to our single friends. I never thought about this, and say, hey, if there was a natural disaster or if there was doomsday, whatever that means. Again, don't let the wording of doomsday scare you. Doomsday could literally just mean no more chicken wings at the store and you just love chicken wings. I don't know. But, something way more extreme than that, of course. But what about our single friends? My mom's single and she already know she gonna be right here. She has her own place, but guess what? You're gonna be right here. So we have to think about that. That's a really good point, big guy. Cav, MAGA, and Marine self-defense is my next step, Trash Can Wave says. But it don't matter if you store food or water because you will have to defend it. Push come to shove, you have to prepare to leave survival train. Exactly. Doomsday preppers even talk about that, where yes, you may decide to hunker down, but at some point, if things get really, let's just say extreme, things get really, really crazy, you might have to leave your dwelling to go find a safer place. What does that look like? Where would you go? And I think that, hopefully we'll never see something that extreme in our lifetime. But, stranger things have happened in the past couple of years. Stranger things have happened. What are you going to do? If you're liking my channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Right now, do it. Right now, do it. So yeah, if you're peeking in or you're catching the replay, make sure you hit the like and comment. We're having a great conversation. We're going to round this conversation out, and then I want to talk about the idea of mentoring people and whatever when as it relates to Wendy Williams and her show. So we'll talk about that here in a second, but I want to finish this conversation about, are you prepared? Today, Facebook and a couple of other apps really took a hit for a very long time. A lot of them are just now coming back online. There were other entities that ended up taking a hit, i.e. T-Mobile, Amazon. They ended up not being able to come online. So my question to you is this. If these things began to be extreme and in snowball effect, and, are you prepared? Are you prepared for whatever a doomsday will look like to you? Whatever that will look like to you. Are you prepared? Are your children prepared? All of that. So anyway, Royalty Queen says, yes, I am definitely prepared. Good. Gilda says, I falsely accused my carrier of discounting, or it's probably discontinuing my devices. Oh my goodness, Gilda. You know what? It's so funny because I was upstairs on live. I go downstairs and my husband's on the phone with AT&T, T-Mobile. He was on the phone with T-Mobile about something separate with our son's phone or whatever. And so I said, babe, they're never going to pick up today. And he was like, why? I was like, it's a whole thing going on. And from what I understand, it's reached them. And he was like, what? So I had to catch him up or whatever. And and so he was like, oh, okay. And of course they never ended up picking up, but it's so funny because actually, no, they did pick up, but he said he kept getting the runaround and he couldn't understand why no one was answering his question. And I was like, well, maybe they was dealing with something else or whatever. So yeah, that happens today. Black's Tropical Home says they are off the grid. Off the grid we go. We have to do some research because we have solar panels. And part of me says that would allow us to be off the grid. But at the same time, the solar panels are still connected to the electric company. So I don't know how much independence we will have. I mean, because we have we have a nice stock of them. Thankfully, we're blessed in that way, and they're very really good. They're very nice. They're very good. So the strength of them and all of that, the grade, that's the word, the grade of them and everything. But it makes me wonder, okay, could we really claim to be off the grid with solar panels? Or do we, because right now, even though we have the solar panels, we're still like the electric people are buying our electricity. So anyway, I'm thinking out loud. Y'all saw the wheels turning in my head. I was like, oh, that's right. We won't be off the grid. We won't be off the grid water wise. But electricity we probably will be. But then by then, like as if there's a time. But hopefully, the pool will be filled up and I'm just banking on boiling that water or something. I don't know. Shoot. Probably can't even drink that water. I'm prepared to be like water informed based on the situation, ready to change between run, hide, flight at a moment's notice. Very good, Trash Crane Waves. I think that's what I'm thinking. I got to see what the doomsday thing is. Electricity, I'm going to move one way. Water, you move a different way. Food, move another way. Black's Tropical says off the grid they go. A lot of people like them are beginning to have gardens. My brother has a garden. Joanne Matthews, we've seen her on the channel. She has a garden. And I'm kind of thinking, that is absolutely one of the ways to go. Start growing our own food. We are prepared. Greetings, soul family. Hello. So yes, I just mentioned them. They said they're ready. They are prepared. I love it. Knowing how to grow your own food is crucial. It is extremely, extremely crucial. And it's something that I believe I want to say Black people have gotten away from. But then again, as I'm thinking growing up, like it was nothing to go pick some greens out of Miss So-and-so's yard. Or I lived in Miami. So we had greens, we had plantains, we had mangoes, we had peas, garden stuff, tomatoes, like all of that. So I can't really say since slavery, Black people gotten out of that. I can't say that. I'm not going to say that at all. But I will say this: I noticed a heightened awareness and more people thinking about homesteading and growing their own food and living off the grid and living minimally, living as minimalists. And you know, it's something that we really should consider. Like it's as popular as it is. I'm very interested in it. My only thing, like I said on Black's Tropicals live one day, is that I would love to have a working farm with livestock more so than fowl too much, because I'm afraid of birds. Okay. If you ever wonder, yes, I do not like birds. So, but the flip side of that is I don't want to work the farm. I want to live like a mile down the road. And then when I feel like I want to be in that environment, I'll come out, or I'll live in the house up the lane, up the driveway. And then I'll just want people to work the farm and stuff for me. I know part of, oh, Black's Tropical, don't at me. I know part of the feel and the fun and the reward of having a homestead and growing your own food is being able to get in there and do that and take care of your livestock. I think for me, the gardening aspect, I think I could do that. I know for a fact I'm not getting eggs from chickens and stuff like that. I'd be screaming to the top of my lungs and running around. If a rooster got out, I would never leave my house. Like, I'm that afraid. I think I'd be able to milk a cow. I think. I know that I wouldn't be able to like to butcher a chicken. Nothing with the birds. Definitely for a fact, just hands down, I'm not doing the bird part of it. So in order for me to homestead and have a farmer or whatever, I definitely would need someone to take care of all of that. I love, now I'm gonna tell you what I love. I love to see people harvest their fruits and vegetables and their garden. Harvesting is so satisfying for me to watch. I love when people go live and they're showing you their this and they pick it from the ground. I love that part. So that part I could definitely do. But I'm just a weirdo. Like I'd have someone working that part of the farm. But yeah, that's just my shout out to you guys as you are homesteading and building your own and growing your own. Keep it up, because you know what? The truth of the matter is, as you guys have your channel, as you guys are showing people an alternative way to live, and it's not, and when I say alternative, it's not like I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean alternative than what we as most Americans think that they can do. Like, people don't think about where their food comes from. Just, it's at the table. So as you guys have your channel, you know, I love the fact that you guys are answering questions and really showing people how to do it and all of that, to the point where whether you guys realize it or not, you're planting a seed. And so continue to do it. And yes, I'm going to get back with you. I am going to email you, not email you. I'm going to text you. The problem is I answer my text on my phone and then I did not transfer your number. I'm going to do it. I promise you. Because I want to have you guys on my channel to discuss this, because I'm very interested in that. And so what more would it be to just continue the conversation after today? Trash Can Wave says, I know how to build my own AR-15s, and reloading ain't that bad, but you need supplies. Okay. Oh, AR-15s. AR-15s. He's always cracking a joke. So I'm thinking he's talking about something else. Okay. No, we don't. No, we don't. I don't know what she's talking about. Trash Can Waves, you got that right. Renee says, be prepared for this again. Pamela Care says, be prepared for this again. You get no argument from me, sis. I think that we should be prepared for this and anything even more extreme. Like I said, we're live and we are discussing. If you're liking my channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell right now. Do it. Right now, do it. Yes, we are discussing part 2 of this shutdown of the different apps and everything, which caused me to change into a different subject, or to progress the conversation to, are you prepared? Are you prepared for part 2? Are you prepared for something even major? Are you prepared for water shortage, water outage, food shortage, food outage, all of that? And of course, if you're here for the Nick Cannon conversation, we will have that after this. But this is important too. Yes, Renee Harjic, just can't just prepare for when your weapon function properly, but what if it jams? What if you have a bullet in your if you bullet in your gun hand? You know how to reload with one hand and stuff. You're offhand. Got to train. Okay, trash can waves. They're talking gun talk, load and safety. What ifs? All of that. Chip shortage. Gotcha. There's a shortage on the computer chips. Yep. The Tegra processing chip shortage. You see what I'm saying, y'all? That's why I wanted to bring the conversation here, because there's probably a fraction of my subscribers who aren't even, this is the furthest thing from their mind. These are conversations that XDMC, me, Trash Can Waves, who else? Pamela, Renee, My Vivid, Black Soil. God help me. I hope I don't leave you out. Just drop a wave if I left you out. I am so sorry. It was not intentional. But my point is, that's us talking about it. That's me talking to my kids, telling my daughter, don't leave your brother. Don't leave him at that school. And then me telling him, don't you leave her. And we even had that conversation. Okay, it's a shooting at the school. What are you going to do? As crazy as it sounds, I may not want to have that conversation, but this is their reality. And I hate to say it, if your kid is in middle school and elementary school, you got to have those conversations at least once. Don't go with a stranger. If you have to, you see that tree right there, meet me at that tree. I will be at that tree. Hide. Whatever. And so I like the fact that XDMC, Excel, Trash Can Waves, all these people are coming in and they're validating the conversation and validating the topic and just letting you guys know there is a shortage of a lot of things. We saw it. The last thing, even the housing market. The housing market is absolutely crazy. It's slowing our factories down because China not letting Taiwan ship our chips and preparing to take over the ship production. Trash Can Waves, kiss your brain. I'm trying to tell you. Trying to tell you guys. There's a lot. If you don't have someone, I'm not going to say I know everything. And if my husband's watching this live, he's probably like, she do be listening to me. Baby, I do listen to you. I promise you I do. He knows his stuff. And this is the stuff that he talks about. This is the stuff that he does every day, all the time. And negotiating with people on all this and all of that. And I see it every day, even in our personal lives, like I said, building a pool and just that whole process and what we're able to do in time and what we can, and pick 3 tiles because your number 1 may not even be in. And God knows if we're going to have the workers, So my friends, if you're watching this and what we're talking about seems like Greek, go back, keep watching. Maybe even look up Doomsday Preppers. Watch a couple of episodes, but get in the conversation of preparing yourself. It's better to be ready so that you don't have to be ready, and don't be caught up with a bunch of things. If your things collectage outweighs your preparation, then you worried about the wrong thing. Because here's the thing. When it's time to find your family or feed your family or get water to drink or whatever, that Gucci belt, that Hermes bag, that's this, that, and Yeezys and all this other stuff is not going to help you. I don't even think, y'all leave a comment down below. I don't even think it will help in bartering, because if I want some rice, the last thing I need is some Yeezys. Leave a comment down below. If I want to barter with someone for some corn, the last thing I need is a ring talking about make his pockets hurt. I ain't nobody care about that. How are you going to feed your family? How are you going to prepare your family? for any type of shortage, any type of doomsday. So like I said, don't look at doomsday and be like, oh, I'm turning off Melissa because she's talking about doomsday. That's never going to happen. A doomsday could literally just be what we went through. No Tylenol, no Lysol, no paper towels, no toilet paper, no food, grocery store shut down. When you're not prepared, that's doomsday for some people. And yes, the factories are being slowed down. The shipping's being slowed down. Y'all, listen, we're not talking crazy. And the thing is, I told you guys in my earlier video, I love a good conspiracy. This is not it. This is not a conspiracy. Like, these are hardcore facts. Go, if you don't know, go to Lowe's and talk to the associate about lumber. And just say, how much is the lumber and why does it cost so much? And how long do you think that this car will take to ship to us? And how long will this take to ship? Then you'll see this aspect. This is not a conspiracy. And only 2 places in the world really make them, which is crazy. 60 Minutes did a story on this a few months ago. Funny, and 60 Minutes had a story with that that whistleblower. But you're absolutely right, y'all. If only 2 people, if 2 people have a hold on that market, you better believe they're going to control it, because right now the demand is so high. Man, listen. Yes, Renee. Yes, do it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, my friends. China is an enemy. Better be safe than sorry. Black's Tropical says. Then when you find a vehicle, the price is way up. Go look for a used pickup truck. Exactly. We already have a big old truck, but it's not used. But I understand what you're saying. Yes, the prices are ridiculous. And again, that's what we noticed when we were out car shopping and stuff. So yeah. Geez. I'm trying to find the comments. Y'all know. Oh, there we go. Melissa, I did not know what was going on until I heard your platform. You was the first that I heard to deliver the message. That's how I found out. Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. My husband had no idea. And he's on the phone with T-Mobile because they're trying to say that our son's insurance on his phone was out. And we're like, no, we pay for all of that stuff. And so we're like, no, you need to go back and look at that or whatever. But he was getting the runaround. And I told him, I said, they were probably trying to put out this fire, and really was like, listen, buddy, just buy another phone. We ain't got time for this. I have a cousin that lives in Maricopa, Arizona, and they couldn't find any. Listen, they're a bit a ways from me. We go there a lot for sports and stuff like that, Renee. And I could see with her living so far out, or your cousin living so far out, they probably couldn't find too much of anything. Okay. In Maricopa. Maricopa is very desolate, so to speak. Facts, big guy journey. A car you could get for, okay, we said that already. We have enough of everything to live for. We have enough of everything to live for years without shopping. That does not include what we're growing daily. Love it. I am, for lack of a better term, I'm so impressed. I love it. I'm so inspired by that. But I know with where we live, community, that whole thing, HOH would lose their mind. HOA rather would lose their ever loving mind. But I mean, we can do stuff in the back, but that is so admirable. But like I said, you guys are inspiring so many people. So keep up the good work. Superstar Graham says that's true. Trash Can says liquor, gold, and silver are good for bartering. Yes, liquor, gold, silver, but not a Gucci belt. Not some Yeezy slides. Not some doggone. What I'm saying is balance out your focus. I like a cute outfit here and there. Not here and there. All of that is good. A nice purse and everything. But when you're talking about preparing for the future, whatever that looks like, whether it's doomsday or not, you got to make sure that you're not putting money in bags with holes in it. I need to do better with spending habits. Superstar Grams, thank you. I hope this live inspires you to do better with your spending, to kind of balance it out. We all can do better, I think. Um, in the process of what we spend, how we spend it, saving and everything. But when you look at what happened today and what could possibly happen in the extreme, doomsday, as I say, all I'm saying is, in the grand scheme of things, as you're stocking up on purses, I have my fair share of purses, shoes, and all kind of stuff. But what more could we do if you refocus all of that and say, you know what, I'm gonna begin to use this extra room or this garage or was this whatever to stock up on canned goods and different, or grow your own food for the future. And like I said before, if at a minimal, this conversation doesn't do anything but cause you to begin to have conversations as a family. What is your fire escape route? What if you have a flooding? What if there's something that happens at school with the kid? How does that kid know that it's going to get back to you? Your kid's off to college. There's an absolute electrical breakdown. What is their plan? A, B, C, D. These things are real. Greetings, big brother, big guy journey. I live in a missile silo if I had the money. I don't know. They look so cold. They seem so cold. Black's tropical. Everybody sending love. I like canning foods. You know what? That's one thing I'd like to try a lot of stuff, and canning is one thing that I have never tried to do. But it seems so relaxing and of course rewarding, because you go through the process of canning and everything. So yeah, I'd be interested in doing that. Thursdays at Denham's early in the morning, you know your stuff, and that's when I buy ammo. Period. Period. Yes, you learn where the delivery, what time, and everything. And I always had stuff during the past year and a half. We thank God, knock on wood. Um, as a virtuous, wise woman, I know how to get it done and find the stuff that we need for sure. Melissa, I thank you for this young lady, this topic. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm glad that you found it well. And if you're just like Renee, you're enjoying this conversation. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel and make sure you hit the like button. But most of all, I always say, don't just subscribe. Make sure you come in and interact into the conversation. Axel said earlier today, I don't want to flood the comment section. No, flood the comment section. This channel is not just me speaking to you guys. I will stay on live until I get all the comments out. And I always wonder, what is that going to look like when I have millions of subscribers, right? Am I going to be trying to go through all those lives? I promise you, I'm going to try. I'm going to absolutely try. So with that being said, thank you guys for your interaction and everything. It's always great over here. I love it. Very good intellectual conversation. I'm going to be mad for women and males. It's going to be mad. It's going to be bad, Trash Can Wave says, for women and males. There's some freaks out there. Listen. Listen, because here's the thing. People have just regular desperate times and they turn to sex work and stuff like that. I can't imagine in something like an apocalypse or something like that where they have to make it happen. So yeah. You're absolutely right. That's why we are to take in the window, because she didn't have a covering. The widow. That's right, Big Guy Journey. That's right. And so I like the fact that that was brought up, because now it's making me think about my single friends. Of course, my mom being single, she already taken care of. But now, okay, hey, single friend, are you good if something were to go down or whatever? Very good points, friends. Watch Snowpiercer. It will blow your mind, especially now that Bill Gates trying to get us to eat bug burgers. Oh, Trash Can Wave. So let me write this down. I'm assuming it's on Netflix, but it don't matter. We got just about all the doggone streaming services, so I'll just find it. Yeah, blow my mind, and then I'll be back. Y'all. I will probably be premiering my other channel. It's going to be called Everything Else Melissa, and on that, you guys want vlogs, you guys want other stuff. That's where those things will be. I'm going to keep this my live channel where I'm talking about stuff like that. But how Trash Can Waves just dropped that and said, hey, go watch this. I will probably do a review and drop it on that channel versus here, unless there's something about social commentary that needs to happen, and then I'll bring it here. That makes sense. Is that a documentary, Trash Can? We're living in some weird times. We have an entire getaway safe haven. It's serious, and you have to be prepared for anything. Blacks. You see what I mean, y'all? I know that it seems like our conversation right now is irrelevant and is extreme, and oh, everybody does it. But you know what? All of that has been dispelled just on this one live. Everyone's not having this conversation, and everyone is not even acting on it. I can't honestly say we as a family is acting on the prepping part. Now we know, okay, this was gonna go here, you do da 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 da, and we're stocked up on some things. But I told my husband the other day, well, the last time we talked about this, laughing, I said the truth of the matter is we probably have enough. We have enough meat and stuff, but when you talk about rice and stuff, main staples, which I don't want to eat, I'll give y'all an update on that in a minute. But I'm just saying the staples that you need to survive. How long? I told him we got a good week. We got a good week. As partial empty nesters, we very rarely go out and buy groceries. Like now, when the kids were little, oh, we were ready, but we just don't shop like that anymore. We just don't. And when we want to cook, we just cook for that day or whatever. So it just causes you to begin to think about the future in long term. That is impressive, Black Tropical. So Blacks, I ain't gonna put y'all out there, but y'all are bugging out, meaning they're leaving. Big Guy's Journey, not yet, but he do news press saying we need to stop eating meat and look into bugs, and how he's buying up a lot of farmland where animals eat. So some people think he's getting a monopoly. Of course. And there's a lot of conversation about meat being in low demand, and how they're trying to push the plant-based products more and stuff like that. KFC is coming out with like all kind of stuff. So I know what you're talking about. Then he's going to force the market, so we have no choice but to eat bugs. I can't stand that dude. Big Eye Journey says, but Snowpiercer was a movie in the low class were unknowingly eating bug bars, while the rich and nice had nice food on this train. Very interesting. I want to watch it. Big Guy Journey movie. Each of the train sections were divided by class of people. Wow. But you can only survive on the train because the world was frozen. The people in the back had to eat bugs and each other. Wow. Think about the obesity problem we have. People need to start looking at their health and getting off these meds. If the grid is down, meds won't be available. Excellent point. That takes it to a whole nother level. Those of you that follow my channel, that I did a complete restart. I chose October 1st to restart. For those of you that are wondering, I am doing very well. As of right now, I don't have a headache. Thank God. That's the biggest thing that I fear when I'm weaning myself from the junk, the sugar, or whatever, processed foods. I really hate the headaches. I don't like having a headache because I like to talk, and this is what I do. And I don't want to come on here with low energy and everything. So thankfully, I don't have a headache. Everything's going good. But really, a lot of people would think, oh, I'm going to do this way of living and lifestyle or whatever for weight loss. But really, it's for health. I'm not on any medication, and I'm not trying to be on any medication for anything. So you're absolutely right. Supply and demand. This thing is affecting and can affect every area of our lives. I'm going to check it out, Trash Can. Me too. I wrote it down. We raise our own meat too. I love it. You know what? I'm so proud of you guys, because I know plenty of people of different races that do this, but I got to tell you, you may be the 1, 2, 3, the fourth person of color that I know. But I do know that you guys aren't the only one, and I know you have a huge circle of support in other people. I know you guys aren't the only one, but to people like us, we don't see very many. Black Tropical is laughing because she know. One thing I can say, God is showing us He is the ruler of this world. He is showing man He is tired, and we have to get back to the foundations of living as community, because that is lost. Living in health and not being consumed by social media and everything else. Renee says, April, my daddy told me 25 years ago that something was going to happen on this earth and he did not want to be here. He told me this in 1993. He left us in 94. Wow. Wow, Renee. Sorry for your loss, but also just really thinking about what he said, is significant. And I think that a lot of people, um, justified or not, I think a lot of people are just really feeling the weirdness energy. And a lot of us are really protecting our vibes, our spirit, our soul, and everything, but also just really feel like, okay, this is full moon weird that we're experiencing. You look at the Twilight Zone, it showed us a lot of things that was going to happen today. Yep, a lot of those shows. I'm not joking. I built my own ARs and Glock pistols, no BS. No, I know people that do that. Again, I will not disclose anything, but yeah, I know people that build. Yeah, no. I know you're not kidding. I know it's possible. I wasn't going to do a video because Biden got in office, but F him. Renee, Satan is the ruler of the world until the return of the Messiah, according to the scripture. Big guy, you are absolutely right. I don't know what part of Revelation we are in, but we are there. God's starting to break seals and release horsemen. Pigs, LOL, or cows or something like that. I don't know. A tanker crate that once cost $1,500 to ship now costs $12K. Expensive toys this Christmas. Yep. Not only expensive toys, but Walmart has already said, I was going to do this live, but Walmart has already said they are not going to. Let me see if I can find an article. There will be no layaway this year. So if you have a family, let me see, Walmart. If you have a family that, there we go. If you have a family that depended on layaway for Christmas, that is a thing of the past. And so let's read this. Y'all see how we do over here? Y'all some smart people. Okay, so here we go. Let me X out of this. Here we go. Putting gifts on layaway at Walmart is now a thing of the past. So this came out Friday, October 1st. And so I was going to do an article, a story on it, but what great time to do it other than now. We'll just do it now. As a holiday season approaches, Walmart has announced that they are doing away with their layaway program. The program was recreated to allow people to put items on hold and make payments without any sort of associated fees. So in a statement, the company said, we've learned a lot in the past year as our customers' needs and shopping habits have changed. Bingo! You hear that? Needs and shopping habits have changed. Last holiday season, we removed seasonal layaway from most of our stores, with the exception of select jewelry items and select stores. At select stores. And based on what we learned, we are confident that our payment options provide the right solutions for our customers. Barbara Stewart, Chair of Human Development and Consumer Services at University of Houston, said layaway has been on its way out for quite some time. She said it costs retailers money. Here's what she said. For a retailer, the product is not available in inventory to be sold. Supply chain, friends, we've already talked about this. This is what I'm talking about. She's speaking to the supply chain process of everything. So she says, for a retailer, the product is not available in inventory to be sold. Sometimes the customer doesn't follow through, and therefore you might have an out of season item that still remains ownership by the retailer, but they can't recoup their loss fully. As an alternative, Walmart customers can structure a payment plan with Affirm. Affirm is advertised as buy now, pay later model without any fees. Customers will have to qualify to use it. For some customers, this buy now, pay later option works well. For others, the challenge its route for financial disaster by buying more than you really can afford based on your budget. Unlike Walmart's layaway program, Affirm charges 10% to 30% interest, but customers get the items immediately. Their website says that Affirm may offer special finances as low as 0% interest on some of its products. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good because the obvious. That's just incurring more debt for a holiday. It's not worth it, friends, to me. Renee says, Melissa, I hung up quick and my daughter told me the reason why they're getting rid of coins because what they're trying to do is get us to digitally bank at one bank. Okay, thank you. It you know, how many of you started watching Squid? I want to say Squid Ink, but that's where we get sushi. Squid Games. And I started it. It's a little too slow for me. I only watch my cousin, my husband, they've watched it. It's moving really slow for me. Check out Battle Royale. If you've watched that, that's some action. But anyway, it reminds me, the programming can remind you a little bit of the Squid Games, how they just walk in a pattern, following each other to death, basically. And we just have to make sure that we are critical thinkers, that you do your research, whatever it means for you, to make the best decision for you and your family. I really enjoyed y'all. Stay safe, everyone. Keep the faith. Thank you, Renee. Look up the missile silo. They put a swimming pool, greenhouse theater, farm and animals in. Mr. B stayed a weekend. Oh, okay, yeah, I see Mr. B, that one. And it's funny because I was gonna, when I said that to you, like, oh, I wouldn't stay in the silo, I thought immediately of the one Mr. B stayed in. I've seen that video, and yes, I would stay in that one. That one, they got a whole school. They listen, they have restaurant. Yeah, I stay in that one. Trash Can says, oh, no sales at all. Did you hear about Dollar Tree is upping prices? People had a fit. Yes, Dollar Tree is no longer Dollar Tree, just Dollar Tree. Or it's gonna cost you more than $1. Absolutely. I usually put a gun or two on layaway at Dunham's every year for their sale, but they're not doing that no more till 2024. That is exactly. That's a thing of the past. Because I know people's spending habits have really changed. Those of us that are privileged enough to be able to shop and stuff like that, I think people are just really, really being more mindful and cautious of how they're spending, what they're spending their money on in preparation of the what ifs. And then there's some people who just don't, who aren't really thinking about that. So hopefully this live will find you in a position where you begin to think about what it is that you want to do, what your future looks like, what the contingency plans, basically the what ifs. If you're liking my channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Right now, do it. Right now, do it. So y'all, if you're just now joining in or you're catching a replay, hey y'all, I'm Melissa Berry, your host. We are having a discussion on the part 2 of the Facebook shutdown. If you haven't already, check out my video that I did earlier today. Gave a lot of light and commentary on that. We had a great discussion on that, but here it is. We're rounding out the ending of our first topic, and I want to get into the second one, talking about Mr. Nick Cannon and the Wendy Williams show. So let's round this out. My contact is acting up. Heck yeah, Five and Below got stuff over $5 in the store now, period. So now you're gonna have Five and Below, Dollar Tree in competition with Five and Below. They don't like us doing crypto either, so get into it. Yep, my husband knows some stuff about that, and I know some stuff he knows about it. Trash Can Waves helped me out. Squid Games, yes, just to watch. You know, I'm on episode 2. I want to say it's moving super slow for me. And so I'm trying to hang in there and see what the hype is. But like I said, if you want some really good Battle Royale, is a really good one. And but this reminds me of just the mindless moving, following what they think is the dream or whatever. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to transition into the second topic. There's some of you probably waiting, coming back and forth, watching or whatever. Here we are. The second topic of the night. And then I'm going to end this live. So for those of you that were wondering, how's your reset going? Y'all, I'm doing very well. I'm eating well. And as a matter of fact, My window closes here in a minute, starting my intermittent fasting, and I'm gonna eat. I bought some chicken. I felt like some boiled chicken, not in a soup form, but just boiled chicken with some hot sauce and peppers and lemons and whatever. If you're from Florida, you know what I'm talking about. I felt like some chicken sauce. That's what we call it. So that's what I'm gonna eat, and I baked some chicken wings for the fam, and we're gonna get that done and just chill or whatever. But everything's good, like I said before, I'm just so grateful that I don't have a headache. If you don't know anything about purging your body, your mind from sugars and sweets and stuff, you really end up having a headache. Thankfully, knock on wood and everything else, praise Jesus, I don't have a headache. So anyway, y'all, Wendy Williams and Nick Cannon. So Miss Wendy, Miss Wendy, Miss Wendy. We had a conversation months ago about wanting your greats, your faves, the people that are on top of their game, wanting them to finish on top. And unfortunately, I believe, let me scroll my allegedly, because I don't need Wendy or her people coming for me. But unfortunately, I think that we're seeing like a great decline of Miss Wendy. And whether you like Wendy or not, whether you like what she does or not, Wendy is known for bringing the fire, bringing the gossip, of course, and bringing all of that, but also just being, you know, Oprah 2.0. So anyway, I'm going to play this commercial again, and then I'm going to plug up my computer because I must have unplugged it real quick. Did y'all see my intro? Did y'all see my intro? Well, you're going to see it. You're going to have to catch the live again. But anyway, I'm going to plug up my phone. So, it was reported that she wasn't doing very well and in rehab and not in rehab and all this other stuff. And so, again, going back to the original conversation, I wanted to see Wendy go out on top. I don't want to see anybody go out on the bottom. I don't wish anybody bad, but there are some people that I wish would just um, go away in certain arenas. Like, no, not die, but just stop. So it turns out that Wendy was supposed to have a season premiere. People bought tickets and everything else. No Wendy. So now it was rumored before, maybe a year or so ago, that Nick Cannon was going to take over for Wendy during when she was sick before. So now it's talking the streets that Nick Cannon might be taking over for Wendy, for the Wendy show this time. So let me show you this article. Well, you have that there, so I won't move that. But what it's saying is Nick Cannon in talks to take over ailing Wendy Williams' time slot as the network execs look towards a backup plan after numerous health-related delays. So like I said, we had one delay, then we had another one. And so amid ongoing health battle, Wendy and her daytime talk show may lose its standing and its talk show slot to Nick Cannon. Now, here's the thing. One thing about Nick is going to work. So that's no doubt. My question to you is, do you think your company, hospitals, Wendy Williams show in this case, do you think that there should always be a mentor, mentee in place for situations like this, so that there's always a smooth reoccurrence transition? There's always a smooth transition. Someone's out, someone's sick, someone's whatever, instead of like, oh, who are we gonna get? Let's get Nick Cannon. What do you think? Leave a comment down below for that. But then also let me know if you think this will be a good time slot for Nick. Nick has about 3 to 4 other obligations and shows under his belt. Is this good for Nick? Can Nick handle another talk show? Let me know what you think about that as well. I don't know. Because if people are, again, another question, if people are used to looking at Wendy during that time, and now we have Nick, are her followers able to cross over and say, okay, this was Wendy, now this is Nick? Let me know what you think about this. Have you heard about this? Have you heard about Nick, Wendy being ill? Do you think we should just ride it out and let Wendy come back? I have to be honest with you. I have not watched the Wendy Williams show at least a year. At least after I was watching during the time where she fainted and stuff like that. I wish her well. I watched her documentary with her ex-husband, about her ex-husband and her marriage and all of that. However, when she came back, we talked about this on the show. When she came back, Wendy just was not herself. To me, it was long past time for Wendy to just kind of hang up the crown and let someone else come in. What more would a mentee-mentor relationship, what more profitable would a mentor-mentee relationship be? Or would you be willing to, if you're in a CEO or in charge? So for an example, I don't work outside my home, but doing what I do, if I thought at my height, I want to retire or whatever, and I thought that someone else can do what I do here on these YouTube streets, absolutely. I'd mentor them and I tell them everything that I know and what I know to do or whatever, because number one, the more the merrier, but also just kind of to leave a legacy. And I think that's what Wendy is missing. I think we're watching her just fall apart before our eyes. And Nick, if this is what they're in the talks of, giving this slot to Nick, in my opinion, whether you watch Wendy or not, like her or not, Nick has some really, really, really big shoes to fill. No pun intended. Okay. And I'm laughing because we know, most people that knows that Wendy has large feet. She says it herself. So, this time slot allegedly is going to Nick Cannon, and this is what they're thinking. And I have some questions. Is it Nick Cannon taking over the show? Is it Nick Cannon taking over that slot? And then is there a demand for a Nick Cannon in that slot? Page 6 reported that the network executives have been talking about the matter as a backup plan. Because here's the thing. Those of you that really, really ride hard for Wendy, some of y'all are like, you know what? They need to wait on Wendy and all this other stuff. You know what? Every day that Wendy is not coming to work, that's money. They're losing money. They're losing sponsors. They're losing advertisers that really, really wanted Wendy. So I don't blame them at all for looking into a backup plan or looking for a plan B or anything. The question at hand is Nick Cannon the one? Now, hey, Kombucha. When Nick was, whenever did he co-host? Did I ever see him co-host? Yes. No. Nick is going to host, okay? I can't take that from him. Nick is going to host, he's going to entertain, and he's going to work. So I think that he'll have great work ethic, if he ends up taking over the show or whatever. I think he has a great work ethic to be able to make it work. My question is, will it transcend to her audience? And I'm not quite sure about that. I'm not quite sure because I really don't see. Okay, and then the question is, she's known for celebrity gossip and news and just, that whole thing. And I just kind of don't see Nick in that way. I don't see Nick bringing that type of energy. I don't know if I want to see Nick bringing that type of energy. Renee says, Melissa, I'm so happy that you brought up the fact of changing the way we eat. The way we eat brings on so many illnesses. I changed my diet in 2010. I was 198 pounds and very miserable. I feel great now. Renee, congratulations. That is not an easy feat. So Renee is going back to the previous topic that we talked about, which is not a problem. I'm going to remove Mr. Nick here for a second so as to not confuse anyone. But yes, Renee, the way we eat is super, super important as we are making, as we are transitioning, so to speak, into such a crazy time, supply and demand. And yes, way back in the Atkins days, again, I didn't have a weight problem growing up. It was having kids and stuff like that. But even being hugely obese, that's never been my thing. However, um, now I know that I'm not at my best, and I want to make sure that I don't end up on medication or surgeries or anything. Like, it's all preventive and it can be avoided. Like, a lot of the ailments of Americans is definitely dietary related. So we just need to make sure that we're doing everything we need to do, taking the precautionary measures to be healthy. Um, we get the real you at night. Yes, you got the real me at night. Thank you, Coffee Tech Talk and Tech, for joining me again. So, my friends, if you're just joining in and you're like getting a tail end of the Facebook conversation, make sure you go back and check out the first video from earlier today, because Coffee Talk and Tech kind of confirmed a lot of stuff that we were saying and stuff. So yeah, make sure you check that out. Renee says, Wendy, Wendy, Wendy. I'm praying for Wendy. I am praying for Wendy. But I also don't want all of this to play out on television. Go heal, go do what you need to do, but it's over with the show. Uncle Stu says, yes, I'm about to fast next week to heal my body and lose weight too. Good job, Uncle Stu. And you know what? I don't know if this is your first time on my channel, but here's my virtual button. Kim's gonna get me the thing, because StreamYard is not compatible with my Stream Deck. Bam, 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 bam. Uncle Stu, welcome, 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 sir. Yes, that's what I'm doing. But here's the thing. For me, it's a reset. Like, I've lost weight, I've gotten healthy, and now I just went back to my terrible eating habits, and I don't like that. Period. The end. I haven't gained. I talked about this a couple of live streams ago, shows ago, however you want to say it. I haven't gained massively. For some reason, my genes don't do that. Thank God it's in my DNA that I don't, when I'm not eating right, I don't go up massively. I just go back up to where I lost. Thank God. But it doesn't matter. I know that my dress size and all of that will be a byproduct of me eating correctly. But I got a super chat. Super chat. Much love and support to you. Great convo. Thank you, Uncle Stu. It's so good to see you on my channel. I do go to your channel and I do support you. So y'all make sure y'all check him out. He is another content creator. But not only he's a content creator, he's a veteran, and he has a lot. He's a man of God. He's a veteran. And so that's two checks in my hat, where it lends credibility and respect from me. So y'all go check him out. Great content on his channel. Allegedly, now finish what you're saying, sweet Melissa. Girl, I don't know what I was saying. Uncle Stu, the old man on the block. Hey, shout out. Yes, I'm about to fast. Yes. So Uncle Stu, what kind of fasting are you do? So I do intermittent fasting. So I fast every day. And I stopped eating about 6. That's why I ain't gonna be on this live long. But I stopped eating about 6, maybe 7, and I don't eat till the next day until 12, 1 o'clock. Depends on when I stop eating at night. But I don't do late night eating and stuff like that. So that's what I do. It's been years since I fasted. I probably, with everything going on in the world and how crazy it is, I could use a good spiritual fast for sure. And that's a whole nother conversation. I think that's an amazing thing. I've gone 40 days on a liquid fast. So yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. So my brothers are talking to each other. Coffee Talking Text says, hey. Kombucha says, sorry I'm late. I hate to ask, but real quick, what's wrong with Wendy? You know what? Allegedly, you see all that allegedly? Allegedly, Wendy is really has relapsed with her alcohol and substance abuse. And so, but they're melding it with her the liquid legs and stuff. And I don't mean this with any disrespect. I forgot the name of it. It escapes me. The article may talk about it, but Wendy is, so when she was set to come back in September, they pushed it back. Then they pushed it back another week, and now they're pushing it back again. Basically, Wendy, and so when we've seen her publicist, her this one, her that one, they're like, Oh, and then they said she had the id. So yeah, she's just not doing well. And allegedly it's the id, but also cover, thank you, lymphedema. I meant absolutely no disrespect. Lymphedema, lymphedema. Okay, so they're kind of lumping it with all the stuff that we know that is wrong with her. But also when you see her, and if you've seen her show since she's been back, clearly that's not lymphedema. That's not thyroid. Wendy was not even coherent during her shows when she was back in the previous season. If it wasn't for Norm and the rest of her staff, she would look like a mumbling fool these past couple of shows in this past season. So no problem with being late, and no problem asking a question. Y'all know how I do. I'm gonna answer. So yes, that's what it's being rumored as, substance abuse. She doesn't look good. She doesn't look good. As we know, she took a hard loss and a hard hit rather with her very public divorce and the baby on the way and all of that. Well, the baby's here now. So I think we're just seeing, and then her mom passed away. We're just seeing someone go through life publicly. Uncle Stu says, I do dry fasting for 3 days and water fast for the next 3 days, then a light fasting. Okay. Now that's interesting. I've never alternated my style of fasting. So y'all would transition the conversation now. We're now on health and wellness. So yeah, I've never have I ever dry fasted? No, I've never dry fasted. Not intentionally. How does that make you feel to dry fast? Can you, because I know you can only do it for so many days. And I've water fast and I've done a liquid fast. And then I've done a light fasting. So yeah. Of course, y'all, we're talking about our own personal journey. We're not medical doctors. We're just telling you guys what we do and why it works for us. Kombucha, you got this. What she got? I love kombucha. With or without Susan and Norm, she's been looking and sounding very foolish. Yes, bless reborn. She's been sounding very, very bad. And the thing is, as her supporters, as people that watch her, as her viewers, you can't pull a wool over her eyes. That was not somebody sober at all. And it's been rumored that she was drinking more than tea in those cups. But the people, they are afraid, allegedly, of losing their jobs. So the people are speaking, but allegedly it's on a anonymous basis. So again, I don't wish harm on anybody, even people that just can't stand me for whatever reason or whatever. I don't know who they are, but I'm sure everybody can't like you, right? So I'm just assuming there's someone out there that be like, oh, Melissa, Melissa. I'm sure, like, I don't know them. But I'm sure there's someone that literally throws up in their mouth at the thought of me. Isn't that weird? Like, for somebody like me, like, I'm not in drama. Like, no one's called, like, my phone is as dry as a soccer mom's phone with a husband could be. Like, no one's calling me. And she said, and then none of that's happening. So that being said, because I'm not the type in drama, whatever, I can't sit up here and assume that everybody likes me. Like, no. So because of that, there is someone they're just not here. Can you imagine who else is like me? Who else doesn't have the drama come to you? You know how those memes are like, yeah, don't talk to them, talk to me, and all sort of stuff. I don't have that. Thank God, because I don't need it. But if you're like me and you don't have that type of thing going on, do you literally think in your head that everybody likes you? Please don't. There's someone that's just like Renee. Y'all probably like, this girl crazy. This is my content, y'all. This is how I do. Yes, but back to the topic at hand. Yes, without Susan or Norm, she was a hot mess. Just forgetting common people's names. Just, terrible. Uncle Stu says, the longest I've done it for 7 days, but I never do it again. 3 days is the longest a person should do it. Remember, I'm not a doctor, LOL, but it will help regulate the body well. Oh yeah, fasting is the best. And I already can feel the mental benefits. Again, this is not medical advice. Uncle Stu and I are just talking about our benefits of what we see in our fasting life. Do whatever your doctor tells you to do. But yes, that reset is awesome. They're talking. What's up, brother? That's a hard lesson I learned. I ain't everybody cup of tea. Bless. Listen, we aren't. And the thing about it is, I think if you're the type that don't get in fights all the time and don't end up in drama all the time, that's how I am. So, but I know that there's a secret society of, or ooh, what is she doing? She better. Okay. Okay, that's better. Okay. Um, just because it doesn't come to you, there's somebody that really just sees you coming and be like, I kid, but it's the truth. And I don't even know what I said that for, but anyway, that's a hard lesson I learned. I ain't everybody's cup of tea. You know what? You're not everybody's cup of tea, and don't dim your light. Don't shine brighter. Don't do anything to try to fit and become someone's cup of tea. Um, Listen, you are for who you are. Bless. We've had great conversations during our motivational times and stuff like that. But yes, Dallas C says, "Hey Melissa, hey Dallas, how you doing?" I don't know why that it's not Seahawks C, but or Seattle C, but that's fine. It'll pass. But hey Dallas. Bless says, no matter how sweet and kind you are to someone, it doesn't guarantee favor or friendship. It doesn't. It really, really doesn't. And, that's one of the greatest lessons as you're growing up in your 30s, your 40s, or whatever. Find your tribe. If you're trying to fit in with a group of people or a friend group or whatever, and they don't accept you or you never get the invite or whatever, dust yourself off, let go of those hurt feelings and find your people. Or you become your people. Okay? That's that part too. Bless says, okay, she said that already. So yeah, y'all. So you guys are doing well. We're rounding out the evening. What time is it? Yeah, rounding out the evening. Very exciting times today with Facebook going down and everybody losing their rabbit mind. Not everybody. I know some people were like me. I was like, Lord, let me get on here and hold my family's hand because they're gonna be going through it. As Big Talk Tech says, no selfies tonight. Pamela says, I've joined this. Have a good night, my loves. You too, Pamela. As always, I love your commentary because you always so subtly just come in. You say what you got to say. You interact. You enjoy it. But you also just always give me compliments about the show. So I really, really appreciate that. You have to do for you and love you. Then love you the love you're looking for will come. Yes, 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 Uncle Stu. And you know what? In a couple of weeks, I'm going to be putting together a panel, and I think you'd be great on a panel. It's going to be, it's stemming from a conversation that we had with a bunch of couples. And What the Funk Is This has committed to come on, and so has Big Guy's Journey, and a couple of the women that subscribe here, but they're single. Because it's very easy for married people to talk about how it is to date and being available and love and all this other stuff. And the men are crazy and these women crazy and whatever. A lot of people in everybody's ears. But we got to get down to what the truth is and the meat of it. So we're going to have the conversation here. We're going to have a panel, and it's going to be a singles panel, and the men are going to listen to the women. And again, everybody can't speak for everybody. These are unique perspectives of each individual man. And I think that's one of the things that is really, really lacking or troubling today when you look at a Kevin Samuels and the different people, this global idea of womanhood, generalization in manhood and all of that. So you got to be careful. And that stems from Uncle Sue's comment. You have to do for you and love you. Then the love you're looking for will come. Renee says, Melissa, when you said allegedly when you got ready to speak on Wendy Williams, that's what I was talking about. Child. Oh, well, yeah, allegedly talking about these substances and stuff. Listen, I had to say allegedly because that's what they're saying. They're saying, sister, there's more in that cup than tea. And But I mean, if you look at the show, if you've seen her show in the past year, you're like, oh no, sister is just, it ain't right. It's not right. So I wish her well. I don't wish the downfall for her or anyone, but I wish she just bow out gracefully. I could take over. Only reason why I wouldn't is because the show films in New York, I think. Yes, New York. And I don't want to move to New York. Give me the sun. Is her show canceled? No, it's not canceled, but it's let me put Wendy back up. She keeps pushing it back. And so as I stated before, this is costing the show money, sponsors. This is a business. We don't have time for her to be worried about what's in that cup and this and that and the other, whatever. That's the hard part of business that some people don't understand. Not necessarily you, Bless, but that a lot of people don't understand is that, outside of business, everybody's like, oh, well, let's wait for her to get well and wish her well. And we could do all of that. But the truth of the matter is she's costing them money. So they are looking at a plan B. So it says that Nick Cannon and his new daytime talk show are in talks to take over the Wendy Williams show's time slot. Page 6 reported that the network executives have been talking about this matter as a backup plan. So we're talking about a backup plan that Page 6 has reported on, the Daily Mail has reported on, and even when Wendy was sick before, it was either Wendy or that other white guy that has subbed for her. I forgot his name, but anyway, he subbed for her as well. So it was either Nick or him. My thing is, I don't know if I want to see Nick in that space. It would have to be a completely different type of show. I don't want to see Nick or any other man sitting around having a gossip show. That's just me. That might sound bad. I'm not going to say any other man. Let me take that back because I'm thinking of a couple of people that I would listen to if they took over her show. Armand Wiggins being one. But Nick Cannon, I don't see him in this space. And the thing is, I don't necessarily need to see him, but I could see him with his own show doing his own thing. Jerry O'Donnell. Thank you. Yes, Jerry O'Donnell. Jerry has been on, and a lot of people were being mad because they thought that he was going to be offered the show, allegedly. But I think it's always been Nick. And if you remember, there was this whole drama behind her not wanting Nick to sub for her. And that's why everybody was upset. Like, why don't you get Nick? She did not want to give Nick a chance to sub. She would always put Jerry in there because everybody know Jerry couldn't hold his own as a replacement for Wendy, but Nick can. Y'all see that scrolling down at the bottom? Allegedly. No, I'm just kidding. Ever notice how this happens around a time for the past few years? Always in October. Interesting. Melissa, this is how I began to start losing my weight and I get serious about my health. I did a 40-day fast, nothing but seafood, no McDonald's, no Burger King, Wendy's, no fried foods, prayer, and meditation, period. I've led this lifestyle for many, many years. 2019-20 hit. And of course, all of our routines got shaken up and raveled up and everything. And I just got off track. So right now, catch my video from Sunday. Catch my video. It's talking about my reset and what I'm going to do. We had a great conversation. Shout out to Trash Can Waves. Shout out to Pamela. Shout out to someone else that commented what they're going to reset. So this is my time to just reset. This is thankfully something that's not new to me. So it's not something that I'm learning. I'm just getting to my place of discipline. Sounds like Uncle Stu is doing the same thing where we know what to do. We just have to do it. And it takes a reset. So if you're just joining my live and you're like, okay, Melissa, I hear you talking about resetting, catch the video on Sunday. It's going to be a great motivation to get you going, kickstarting your journey. And we're going to do this. We're going to get back to doing whatever it is that we need to do to be the best us, period. Big Sue says, when is it? I have to finish my calendar and I'll let you know. I can be here as an older man. I am healed from my past. Black women are not always to blame. We have to know how to do self-examination. That's why I want you. That's why I want you. Because some things were asked and said, and my husband was like, but he didn't want to, he doesn't want to, obviously, he doesn't want to be on the panel as a single man. You guys are probably about the same age. You might be a little bit older than us, but you guys have the same philosophy about a lot of stuff. So yeah. And allegedly, I think yes, Renee, I did mention that. Allegedly that was, but she's healed from that. So now it's like, okay, on to the next. Now what is the problem? Now why isn't she back? So that's what's happening here. It's like she keeps pushing back these dates. Oh, it's because of this. Oh, it's because she clipped her toenail. She got the wrong lip gloss. At this point, you just can't keep denying the sponsors what they want. That show needs to go live. People are buying tickets and have to reschedule and cancel and everything. Not good. So, I love it, my friends. Thank you guys for tuning in. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. Not the longest live that I've done. I've done much longer, but I told you guys, I got the master reset going on. I can't be on here much longer. I may come back later tonight if something else jumps off. Y'all know how I do. But in the meantime, I got to go close my eating window so that I can be a happy camper when I go to sleep tonight. But anyway, my friends, thank you guys for tuning in. If you're catching a replay, leave a comment. I do respond to you guys when you comment. As always, if you have something that you want to talk about, I always get emails. Melissa, can we talk about this? Can we talk about that? I have a handy dandy, trusty list of things that you guys have requested. Go ahead and send me an email. And request whatever it is. I typically keep the request anonymous unless you say, hey, I don't mind if you mention I'm the one that asked to do it. Yeah. And what do I have for you guys? What else? If you're liking my channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the notification bell. Right now, do it. Right now, do it. Right now, do it. So yeah, if you, like I said, like, share, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. A couple of things that we have coming up. We have the couples panel. That ad is loading now. I thought I uploaded it. If not, it'll be tomorrow. I'll show it tomorrow. Let's see what this is. Love, dating, and marriage. Have you guys caught up on all the series? We've had part 1 with the ladies. We had part 2 with the couples. And guess what? The men return. The couples are back for part 3. We want to help build strong women, so that we can have healthy, strong marriages. So join us live Sunday, October 10th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you soon. So yeah, y'all, see you soon. So that's the couples one. Good news. The husbands and the couples will be back. I know that there's so much more that we want to talk about and that you guys want to come back. So they'll be back. They'll be back on Sunday. So tune in 9:00 Eastern Standard Time. Be ready because it was a great conversation, those last 2 sessions. And then singles. Y'all already know. I already called you guys on the table. Be ready for that discussion. I'm already ready. Bless Reborn says, love this group. Hugs and kisses to you all. And on that note, my friends, be the reason why someone smiles. Be kind for absolutely no reason at all. And as always, I will see you guys tomorrow, 7:00 Eastern Standard Time. See you soon.